Hello, boys and girls, mammies and daddies, grannies and granddads, dogs and mice, leaves and trees. How are you keeping? What's the crack? I'm Fia Rua and this is What's the Story with Fia Rua. Now, I haven't talked to you in a bit of a few weeks there or so, or maybe even a few months, but I'm back here, and it's a special day to be back, boys and girls. It's Imbolc. What's Imbolc? I hear you screaming with anticipation. Well, Imbolc is one of them quarter days that we talk about in ancient Irish history. We have 4 quarter days. They're like the seasons, but in the olden days, they used to call them Samhain. Does anybody ever heard of Samhain? Samhain is around Halloween. That's right, the 31st, the scariest night of the year, when the ghosts and goblins, but never mind all that. The one after Samhain then is called Imbolc. And Imbolc is like the coming of spring. After Imbolc then we have, of course, Bealtaine on the 1st of May and Lunasa on the 1st of August. But at Imbolc, of course, it's associated with a very powerful, very strong woman. What's her name, boys and girls? It begins with B and it ends with T, or it depends how you spell it, I suppose. But her name is Bridget, or Breed in the olden days. They used to call her Breed. Anyway, Bridget, come here and say hello.
Hi, boys and girls. How are you keeping? Today is my special day, St Bridgets Day. I hope you're all making lovely St Bridget's crosses and telling stories about me. Do you want to see my cape? Look at this. Ooh, I'm a superhero Celtic goddess.
A superhero Celtic goddess?
That's right, and I'm not the only one.
You're not the only one. Did you hear that, boys and girls? There's more than Breed that's a Celtic goddess and a superhero. What other ones is there, Breed? Tell the boys and girls. Are the scary ones?
No, well, kinda.
What?
There's a girl called a Colliac. That's me. I'm the Colliac.
Who are you?
I'm the goddess of the winter, the Colliac, or the Hag of Bera. Now what I do is I get younger every time the winter comes, and throughout the winter I get younger and younger, and then Bridget comes along and ruins everything. No, I don't.
What do you mean she ruins everything?
Well, you see, I'm comfortable enough, and then the Bridget comes and she brings the springtime and the harvest and all that boring stuff. But when I'm here in the winter time, I can make the frost come.
You can make the frost come, Colliac? What do you mean?
Well, all I have to do is stick my stick in the ground and the frost spreads throughout Ireland.
Oh, that's terrible stuff to be doing. The poor farmers and the poor horses and the cows, what are they going to eat when the place is full of frost?
Well, that's their problem. Anyway, I'm going off now to hibernate for a few months now that this spring is on the way.
There's the Colliac, boys and girls. She's not too bad. She's a nice enough woman. I like the winter too. But here's little Breed, and Breed brings with her the spring and fertility and newness. So it's a great time to wash your face and get rid of all the cobwebs, because St. Bridget's Day is here and the spring and the summer are approach. Isn't that right, Breed?
Yeah, that's right. Listen, tell them all about the traditions of St. Bridget's Day in Ireland, and I'm going off to see if I can cure a few people.
All right, Bridget. She's gone off to cure a few people, is Bridget. Fair play to you, Bridget. Now listen, there's lots of things that people used to do in Ireland long ago and still do on St. Bridget's Eve and on St. Bridget's Day. Now, St. Bridget's Eve was last night. And if your mammies or daddies or grannies or anyone at all might have remembered years ago, what they used to do is they used to walk around the house and ask Bridget to bless the house and bring good spirits into the house. And they also used to make the fantastic St. Bridget's crosses. And of course, they used to hang cloths outside their window or a branch of a tree outside in the front garden or the back garden. And these pieces of cloth represented some illness or something that you wanted to get rid of out of your life. Sore throat, sore ear, sore leg. Get the old piece of cloth, maybe wrap it around the leg a few times and hang it out of a tree, and then Bridget would come along and get rid of all that soreness on St Bridget's Eve. And that's what the people used to do years ago, boys and girls. So you should have done that last night, and if you didn't do it last night, try it tonight, or she might be still around. Are you still around, Bridget?
I'm still around. I might be around for a little night yet.
Now, this is the St Bridget's cross. Now this one is about 3 or 4 years old, right? I made that 3 or 4 years ago on St Bridget's Day, and look, not a bother on it, boys and girls. So if you make a St Bridget's cross today from green reeds, sure, if you're in Westmead, the place is full of green reeds, fresh out of Loch Ree and places like that in the River Shannon. Don't be getting into the river now, boys and girls, but go around it and beside it. You might find lovely reeds. And you see, you put one over the other, then one over the other, and then you tie the little ends here with a bit of an old string, or if you want to get all organic and fancy, you can try and get another reed to tie it around at the end. I have this hanging up in my house for the last 4 years, not a bother on it. So there's another few traditions that I'll tell you about St Bridget. Did you ever hear of a group of lads down in Kerry, and they're called, the strangest name, they're called the Biddy Boys. Now the Biddy Boys are musicians, and they used to go around all the houses on St Bridget's Day singing songs to celebrate the coming of spring. Like, do you know the way on St Stephen's Day people go around, the Wren Boys, and they dress up in straw hats and straw suits? Well, these lads did the same thing. Down in Kerry, they're mad into dressing up in straw hats and straw suits. A bit strange down there, aren't they? Here in the Midlands we wouldn't be doing that at all, except maybe the odd time in a 21st or something like that. But listen, these Biddy Boys used to have songs. Well, I sing you one of them. I wrote a bit of a song earlier on, especially for St Bridget's Day. It's lovely and soft, and you can whistle along and see how you feel. Out with the old and in with the new. Oh, Bridget brings the sunshine, fruit and nuts for me and you. Bridget brings the sunshine. Bridget brings the sunshine. Rivers will freeze and rivers will melt. Bridget brings the sunshine. Seeds will open and then they'll grow. Bridget brings the sunshine. Bridget brings the sunshine. We'll walk around the house tonight. Yeah, Bridget brings the sunshine. We'll leave our cloth and tears behind. Bridget brings the sunshine. Bridget brings the sunshine. So we walk around the house tonight. Bridget brings the sunshine. Bridget brings the sunshine. Now, boys and girls, that's a little song I wrote for you earlier on. So did you ever hear any stories about St Bridget or Breed? Oh, I know. Is that right? Yeah. You heard the story about the King of Leinster. Oh, well, I'm from Kildare, boys and girls. Now, Westmead people don't usually like people like me, but you're after accepting me as one of your own recently. I think I'm made an honorary citizen of Mullingar there. That's coming up now next year, that big celebration. But in Kildare, we do celebrate Bridget big style. And we have a well for her, and we have a great festival called Fia Rua in Kildare town. It's a fantastic festival, and people go down to the well, boys and girls, and they go to put a bit of water on a little bit of the sore body maybe, or a little bit of a sore ear or something like that, and it's supposed to cure you. Oh, I think there's something in Bridget's water, all right, and it flows down into the plains of Kildare, and it's a beautiful sight. But in the plains of Kildare, the flattest land in Ireland, it's like the Holland of Ireland. There was a king, the big high king of Leinster, and he was going along on his horse, a bit of an arrogant lad he was. Off he was going with his horse through the plains of Kildare, looking at all the land that he owned that belonged to him. When into the distance came a woman with a kind of a green robe and a hoodie over her like this. It wasn't one of them Nike hoodies you'd see now. This is an old style hoodie, you know, and a big staff. And you couldn't see her face. She looked kind of mysterious. And she had 3 helpers behind her, 3 sisters as they were known behind her. And she looked very sacred and very holy and mysterious.
Ah, well, the King of Leinster looked down and said, "Who are you now?" Look at this one, to get up of her.
"I'm Bridget," she says, "and I have a request of you, Mr. King." "Dude."
"What's that now, Bridget?"
"Well, I need to build a monastery for me and my friends and my sisters. And we need some land, if you don't mind. Could you give us some land?"
"I'll give you some land, I will, all right, but what am I, the county council? I have no planning permission on me."
Oh, he was a terrible man altogether.
He says, "Come here, Bridget, come here to me, come here closer now, Bridget, come here." "Come here, Bridget, I tell you what I'll give you, right? I'll give you as much land as your cloak can cover."
And all his men were laughing.
He gave her as much cloak.
Well, Bridget, she took off her cloak, beautiful green garment with a kind of a magic look about it, you know. Put it down on the plains of Kildare, on the grass there, round the Curragh. You see the sheep walking up in the road and stuff like that. And she turned round to her sisters and said, "Sister, you take that corner." "Other sister, yeah, you take that corner." "Huh? Yeah, right, so you take that corner and I'll hold this corner." And she sent the 3 sisters in 3 different directions, holding the corners of the cloth, you see, of her beautiful gown. And didn't the gown keep spreading?
God, the King was looking down. "What's going on here?"
And keep spreading. It kept spreading that way, spreading this way, east, west, north and south. Before she knew it, she was about a mile of cloth covering the plains of Kildare.
"Hold on," said the King, "you've done enough. You've gone enough. You've gone far enough. You've gone far enough. You can have your land for your monastery. Stop. You're some sort of a wizard."
Bridget had the last laugh and she set up her monastery in Kildare, and that's why Kildare is associated with St Bridget. And St Bridget's Eve is a great time to go down and visit the well, boys and girls. We're here in St Bridget's Day. So I'll sing a little song celebrating Kildare and celebrating Bridget, and I want you all to have great fun today making your St Bridget's crosses, alright? Here's a little song called The Curragh of Kildare, boys and girls. This has been What's the Story with me, Fia Rua, and thanks to Athlone Family Resource Centre and all the people who asked me to tell you a story today. Well, the winter it has passed and the summer's come at last, and the birds they are singing in the trees. Ah, their little hearts are glad, oh, but mine 'tis very sad. For my true love is far away from me, and the hair upon the briar and the water running free brings joy to the linnet and the bee. Ah, their little hearts are blessed, but mine it knows no rest, since my true love is far away from me. Alright, boys and girls, mammies and daddies and whoever's watching, sing along. It's straight I will repair to the Curragh of Kildare, and happy St Bridget's Day. You ready? And it's straight I will repair to the Curragh of Kildare, for it's there I'll find tidings of my dear. Yes, it's straight I will repair to the Curragh of Kildare. And for it's there I'll find tidings of my dear. Happy St Bridget's Day to all the boys and girls. Come on up here, Colliocht and St Bridget, and say goodbye to the boys and girls.
Goodbye, boys and girls, and I hope you have a great